If you are trying to protect your heart, kidneys, and overall health after 60, these are the 3 meats you need to know about. Number 1, processed meats. This one probably won't surprise many of you, but what does surprise people is how often these foods still show up on the dinner table. I'm talking about bacon, hot dogs, sausage, salami, pepperoni, deli meats, and many of those packaged lunch meats sitting in the refrigerator. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying a single slice of bacon is going to destroy your health overnight. That's not how the human body works. The problem is what happens when these foods become regular visitors, day after day, week after week, year after year. According to organizations like the American Heart Association and the Mayo Clinic, processed meats are often loaded with sodium, preservatives, and other additives that can place extra stress on the body. And after 60, your body simply doesn't bounce back the way it did at 30. I tell my patients this all the time. Think of your body like a classic car. A classic car can still run beautifully, but it needs better care than it did when it was brand new. Processed meats create several problems. First, the sodium content can be extremely high. Many seniors already struggle with high blood pressure. When you add large amounts of salt to the diet every day, blood pressure can creep higher. And high blood pressure often works silently. You don't necessarily feel it. There's no alarm bell, no flashing warning light. Meanwhile, your heart, blood vessels, kidneys, and brain are carrying the burden. Second, many processed meats contain preservatives that help extend shelf life. These products may stay fresh for weeks. Unfortunately, your body isn't always thrilled about dealing with those extra ingredients. Third, processed meats are often high in saturated fat. Too much saturated fat over time may contribute to unhealthy cholesterol levels in some people. And when cholesterol levels become unhealthy, heart disease risk can increase. I've had patients tell me, "Doctor, I only eat a couple of sandwiches every day." They say it like it's a small thing. But then we add it up. Deli meat at lunch, sausage at breakfast, pepperoni pizza at dinner. Suddenly, processed meat has become a major part of the weekly diet. Here's what I usually recommend instead. Try fresh turkey, fresh chicken breast, fresh fish, beans, lentils. Even eggs can be a better choice for many people. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is reducing how often processed meats appear on your plate. If bacon is your favorite food on earth, fine. Enjoy it occasionally. Just don't let it become a daily habit. Because habits, not single meals, usually determine where our health goes. Number 2, heavily charred or burned red meat. Now this one catches people off guard. The issue isn't necessarily the meat itself. The issue is what happens when meat gets heavily burned. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The blackened edges, the dark crust, the parts that look like they survived a house fire. Some people actually think that's the best part. I've had patients proudly tell me, "Doctor, if it's not burnt, it's not cooked." I always laugh a little when I hear that. But there is a serious side to this conversation. When beef, pork, or other meats are cooked at extremely high temperatures for long periods, certain compounds can form. Researchers have spent years studying these compounds and their possible effects on long-term health. Now, that doesn't mean you should panic every time you use a grill. Not at all. Grilling can absolutely be part of a healthy lifestyle. The concern is frequent consumption of heavily charred meat, especially when it becomes routine. Here's another issue. Many older adults already have inflammation somewhere in the body. Maybe it's the joints, maybe it's the arteries, maybe it's related to chronic health conditions. Adding additional stressors over time isn't usually doing us any favors. I often suggest a few simple changes. Cook meat at moderate temperatures. Avoid burning it. Trim away heavily blackened sections. Use marinades when appropriate. And don't make red meat the center of every meal. A plate doesn't need to look like a steakhouse advertisement to be satisfying. One thing I've noticed over the years, the healthiest seniors I meet often treat meat as part of the meal, not the entire meal. They add vegetables, beans, whole grains, salads, fruit. The meat becomes one player on the team instead of the entire team. And that small mindset shift can make a huge difference over time. Before we continue, a quick reminder, everyone's health situation is different. If you have diabetes, kidney disease, heart disease, or any other medical condition, speak with your doctor or healthcare provider before making major dietary changes. This information is educational and meant for general wellness purposes. And if you're finding this helpful, take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who wants to stay healthy and active after 60. Now let's continue. Number 3, high-fat processed red meat products. This category deserves its own discussion because it combines several problems at once. Think about products like certain fatty sausages, heavily processed burgers, some packaged meat products, and other highly processed red meat options. These foods often contain a combination of saturated fat, sodium, preservatives, and excess calories. It's like getting several nutritional challenges bundled together into one package. Now here's something important. As we get older, our calorie needs often decrease. Many people don't realize this. You may be eating the same portions you ate at 40, but your body may not require the same amount of energy anymore. At the same time, maintaining muscle becomes harder. Heart health becomes more important. Blood pressure becomes more important. Kidney function becomes more important. So food quality starts mattering even more than quantity. One reason these high-fat processed meats can be problematic is that they're very easy to overeat. Let's be honest, a person can eat several sausages or burgers without feeling especially full. Meanwhile, they may have consumed a tremendous amount of sodium and saturated fat. Another challenge is what these foods replace. Every meal is an opportunity. When a meal is built around highly processed meat products, there is often less room for healthier foods, less room for vegetables, less room for fiber, less room for fruits, less room for foods that support healthy digestion and overall wellness. I remember one gentleman in his 70s who came into my office. Wonderful man, sharp as a tack, funny too. He told me he couldn't understand why his blood pressure remained stubbornly high. So we reviewed everything: medications, exercise, sleep, stress. Then we looked at food. Breakfast was sausage. Lunch was processed meat sandwiches. Dinner was often burgers. The issue wasn't one meal. The issue was the pattern. Once he started replacing some of those meals with fish, beans, chicken, vegetables, and healthier options, his overall health habits improved dramatically. Again, I'm not saying food alone solves every medical problem. That would be irresponsible. But daily food choices absolutely influence long-term health, and that's something many people underestimate. Here's another point worth mentioning. Some seniors believe that eating healthy means eating bland food. I completely disagree. Healthy food can be incredibly flavorful. Use herbs, garlic, onions, lemon, pepper, spices, fresh ingredients. Your taste buds don't retire at 60. They're still looking for excitement. One of my favorite observations over the years is this. The people who succeed with healthier eating rarely focus on restriction. Instead, they focus on substitution. They don't constantly say, "I can't have this." They say, "What can I replace this with?" That's a much easier way to live. Instead of processed sausage every morning, maybe it's eggs and vegetables. Instead of a hot dog, maybe it's grilled chicken. Instead of processed deli meat, maybe it's fresh roasted turkey. Those small swaps add up, not overnight, but over months and years. And remember, health isn't built in a single day. It's built meal by meal, choice by choice, habit by habit. Let's do a quick recap. Number 1, processed meats like bacon, hot dogs, sausage, salami, pepperoni, and deli meats can contain large amounts of sodium, preservatives, and saturated fat. Number 2, heavily charred or burned red meat may create compounds that researchers have studied for possible long-term health concerns, so avoid routinely eating meat that's heavily blackened. Number 3, high-fat processed red meat products often combine excess sodium, saturated fat, preservatives, and calories into one package, making them a less ideal choice for many adults over 60. The goal isn't fear. The goal isn't perfection, and the goal certainly isn't never enjoying your favorite foods again. The goal is awareness, because once you know better, you can make better decisions. And those better decisions tend to stack up over time. A healthier breakfast here, a healthier lunch there, a few smarter dinners every week. Before you know it, you've created a lifestyle that supports your heart, your kidneys, your energy, your mobility, and your independence. If this video helped you, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share it with a friend or family member over 60. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these meats do you eat most often? Have you already cut back on any of them? Or do you have a healthier substitute that works well for you? Leave a comment below, subscribe for more healthy aging tips, and share this video with someone who wants to stay strong, active, and independent for years to come.